Hey Irma, Jack with Onboard Landscaping here to walk you through the design. First thing I'd like to mention is that it is a draft. If you want to scale things back, if you want to make adjustments to the plants, to the patio, the pergola, you can let me know and I'll make those adjustments and we can work out a deal. Obviously, that's the end goal, is to make sure that we can come to an agreement. We can give you a quality product for a price that you would find acceptable for a project of these parameters. That being said, let's get straight into things. With the pergola, we would take that out, do any repairs from any marks from the attachments to the house that we would need to do, and then we would install this pergola system. This is nice because it's simple, it's effective, there's little room for error, and it doesn't require any permits from the city because we're not attaching it to the house. If we did like this big structure like the current one you have that's actually part of the house, then we would have to get a permit from the city. So this it kills many birds with one stone. The posts are 6x6 treated pines along with these corner braces. It would have post base trim. That's one thing that this design doesn't include, is there would be a post base trim to kind of transition into the concrete nicely. Another option that I kind of wanted to run by you would be the idea of taking out the current system that you have and doing a pergola like this. Now the nice thing about this is it's like an open concept. If you still want to go out, you'll have that roof on top. This would be slightly more expensive for something of this size, but then again, we could get something smaller and reduce that price quite a bit. So there's multiple options for that. If that's something that you want to tackle, just let me know. But I know that the main project was some of the planting in the patio area. I do want to place a lot of importance on the grading of this back area. Now this whole area needs to be elevated quite a bit, but it also needs to be conducive for drainage in the backyard as well. And that's absolutely essential. I mean, last year we had that 100-year flood where everything was completely drenched. Obviously, if there's 10 feet of water about everywhere in the city, this area might get some water, but I think by the time we're done, you really feel like this area is elevated. It's impervious to, large rainfalls. To go over the patio, we have these large pavers. We have these 2 by 1 foot steppers, which I think are really aesthetically pleasing. We don't have any edging brick. I mentioned that during the estimate. It's kind of a trend to put maybe a contrasty edging brick around the perimeter, kind of make things look aesthetically pleasing, but it's actually a trend right now not to do that as well, which is coming back into style, which I think is nice because it makes things look simple. There's less moving parts, and it just looks, it looks nice and simple. The garden bed around the outside would have 90-degree corners. It would also get some edging. This would be 1/4 inch thick steel edging. This isn't like plastic edging or aluminum edging. It's 1/4 inch thick steel, so this will last 100 years. It might get a little rusted here and there, but it gets, even with the rust, it has character. It's like you can really tell the difference in the quality when you've got on-site welded steel edging. And like I said, this might be a little overkill. You'll see the price and you might want to make some changes. You just have to let me know, because we can do plastic edging if that's something you want to do. If you don't want to do any edging at all, you can include that as well. Now, to go over some of the plants, we've got these garden beds on both sides kind of in the same sizing or parameters that they were before. However, this one on the left side, I think we should move about a foot inward towards the house so we can get a more encapsulated effect with these boxwoods. These are a green mountain boxwood, has the same verticality around the same bushes that you have now, except it'll be evergreen, so you'll get that evergreen element of foliage all year round. They don't really look like a juniper or a pine. They have like a leafy structure. So that's one thing I love about boxwoods, is that they're green all year round, but they don't look like a pine. So that's pretty cool. On the 4 corners here, you have these pyramidal green gem boxwoods. So that has a little bit of a different shape than the green mountain boxwoods. It's a little bit more quaint for this area because we want this area to be a little bit more accessible. We don't want these big bushes coming out. Everything you see in the design is representative of the plants at their full maturity, so keep that in mind as well. You have some little baby blue hostas here. On this side and that side, you have 3 Delft lace distilbes. And then on the outsides of that, you have 3 Roman red hellebore. These hellebores in the design are white, but they actually are in fact more of a reddish color, which is a pretty cool subspecies of a hellebore, I think. On this backside, you've got 3 Midnight Lady Ligularias, a really cool shaded perennial. And then you've got a set of 3 and 3 purple coral bells on each side of that. And then, of course, this would be mulched. I'm trying to think if there's any other considerations that should be mentioned, but I think that about covers everything. So let me know what you think, and I hope to speak with you soon. Thanks. Bye.